Alright, so today we will see that how we can use Vagrant, and means we will see from that installation to that deployment. Okay, so what is Vagrant? Vagrant is a powerful tool that automates the setup of development environments. Okay, and it helps us maintain consistency across multiple different systems and simplifies the process of managing virtual machines. Okay, and today our goal is to see from that installation Vagrant to deploying our very own automated environment system. Okay, what are the key benefits of using Vagrant? Consistent development environments increase productivity. Vagrant automates the process and helps not to setting up all those processes, not setting up all those settings files and all those the setting of our own environment. Flexibility and portability, cause in case if I want to use this one on any other machine, we can use that. As Vagrant works all major platforms, so we can develop our code anywhere anytime, right? So means in case if it is Linux or anywhere it is, so currently I'm going to see this whole thing on Windows, but the same code or same thing we can use on Mac or Linux or anywhere, right? So who this video is for? This video is for anyone who wants to save time and effort on development environment setup, increase their productivity, work in a consistent and reliable environment, and they can level up their DevOps skills and become master of automation. So let's get started. Alright, so before we jump in, make sure you have few things ready. One, the computer with a virtualization software. In my case, I have Oracle VM with me. Okay, next what we should have a text editor, means IDE, and for that purpose I have a VS Code with me. Okay, I'm going to use it. How I am going to use all those stuff I'm going to see in next on this video, and that's it. Let's start. So what we can do first we need to know about how we can download and install. All right, so to download Vagrant, here is that link you need to go. Okay, and I'll put all those important links, all those details and everything on the description in this video. Most importantly, this is the documentation which I have on my GitHub repository. You can access and you can see all those steps handy. Okay, and I have my Vagrantfiles also mentioned here, so you just go explore and start using this. This is very easy. Okay, so to download this, what we can do, we can just just go to the Vagrant. Okay, install. Okay, and it's going to show me that what we can do. For Windows, I'm going to download this one. Okay, for 64%, but in case if you have any other version, you can just go and download, right? This is for Mac, this is for Linux. That are also in different flavors of Linux you can install, but it's completely on you, right? So these are the steps. So I'm just going to download on Windows, so I'm going to download this one. I already have it downloaded, so I'm just going to use that one. So once I will double click on my that setup, it's going to start installing. That installation is very much easy. I'm not going to waste my time, and as it already showing that it's already present in there, so you just go and keep clicking on next and it will be installed. Okay, this is very much easy. Okay, anyways, so once that installation done, you can verify your installation by going to the PowerShell, and what you can do, you can just type Vagrant version and it would show you what the Vagrant version. All right, Vagrant installation is not only the things. We should have few of that Vagrant plugins also to be installed, and how we can do that. So in case if we want to install Vagrant VV guest, so then what we can do, we can run this command and it would install. Okay, once that gets installed, what we can do, we can just come back and we can check that Vagrant VBGuest status, means it's got installed or not, and it might don't show me because I'm not right now in that init directory, Vagrant init. I need to do that. I'm going to do it next. Okay, anyways, don't worry. But what we can do here, that we can plug in list here, right, and it's going to show me all those plugins which are there, right? So we can see that Vagrant Reload I have VBGuest also there, but in case if you don't have, you can just go back and run this one, right? Perfectly fine. Then if you want to update those, that also just run this command, it will be updated. Okay, all these commands and everything are on my repository, so you can just go and you can check all those. Anyways, so that's the Vagrant installation and the plugin installation. So that is enough to have and enough to start using Vagrant, right? So next thing what we can see, we need to have that Vagrant box. Okay, so if I just do Vagrant box list, okay, it's going to show me I already have that Vagrant on my Linux 9. So what I'm just going to do here, that Vagrant box remove, and I'm going to remove this one so that I can show you from the start, from the scratch. Alright, so that is gone. Now next thing what we can do, we can just Vagrant box add. Now where we will get those boxes, right? So to get those boxes, we need to go here. Okay, here all those boxes are mentioned in Vagrant Cloud. You just name your box, you will get it. So in case if I want to have Ubuntu, okay, I can see all those Ubuntu Ubuntu boxes are there. You have to be just careful, and you need to know that what version you want. Like this is a 14 version and this many downloads, so this is a kind of trusted version or trusted box we can use, right? So that you just be careful a little bit on that part. Next what you can do, like I'm using Alma Linux because it's a RPM based, and for my own purpose I'm just using. But in case if you want to use Ubuntu also, so let me show you that Ubuntu. Okay, so if I want to add the Ubuntu box, so just run this one. Okay, and if you want to see that where is that present or not, okay, so you can see that this is present here. Okay, right, so you just go back here and you can see this one, right? And this is going to pull it from here. So let's just hit enter and see it's going to add or not. Alright, so what we can see, that Vagrant box got added. So now if we just Vagrant box list, it should show us that Ubuntu is already there, right? So but I think that we should create a directory before we jump into things. So what I will do, I'll just create a directory quickly on my location and I name it Vagrant. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go there. Okay, and then Vagrant I created. So right now there is nothing, right? So again, let's just check Vagrant box list. Okay, it should show that one box is already present. But in case if I want to create any other boxes with Alma Linux box, so what we will have to do here, see if we have taken like this whole name, right? In this case, if we are using that 64-bit architectures, we will have to take the full name. Okay, so what we can do, we will just go and add the same and we will see if it is taking or not. So just type and Vagrant box add. Okay, and it's going to add that Alma Linux as well. Okay, so we'll wait for that to add to that to the system. So it's asking for the choice. It's saying that VMware desktop. Okay, and I'm just going to hit one. Alright, so this box also got added. So now what we can do, so I have showed that Alma Linux 9 box is also there, and I didn't show that virtual box option on that. So what I can do, I'll just add this one as well. So let's just add Alma Linux only, right? Okay, so and we'll wait for this to be added. I hope this time it's asked for the virtual box option as well. Yes, there is a virtual box option. So what I'll choose 3 and it would start adding that. Okay, so we'll wait for that addition also. Once that adds, we'll do the next thing. Perfect. So that also got added. So now you must be thinking that, you know, in case if we want to have our own version of, you know, box, then what to do, right? Then what you have to do is you should have your VM installed and configured, right? So in what do I mean by configured means your system should have those virtual box guest edition should be there. There are few few software should be present in that. Okay, like vbox guest should be there. So that also I have separately. So I already have all those configured. I am not going to show all those details because it's going to take a lot of time. But if you want, you can just go back and, you know, check my repository. There I have mentioned that, you know, on Oracle VirtualBox guest edition and what are the things you need to do, right? So guest edition should be there. It is very much important for this one, right? And there are a few more setup you should do, like SSH should be there. Okay, and few important software should be there. Whatever the software you want, that should be present in there. Okay, and the most important part is that, you know, VirtualBox guest edition and that SSH. Okay, that two things should be present in that. So once that is done, what you can do, you can just come here. Okay, and like I want to do that on this one. Okay, so not this one here. So let's take that I want to provision. Okay, so I'll just copy this name. Okay, and I'll keep it somewhere. So let's just run that one first. So first I'm in that Vagrant directory. So what I'm just going to do there, okay, so I'm just going to package. So the command is Vagrant package and this. Okay, but in this case that the another I created. So in this case I need to copy this name. Okay, and I'll come back here and I'll put this name as the box. Okay, and I'll put this name because this is the base, right? So the output is a dot box. So it's going to create a box file out of that Vagrant box, this machine on Oracle VM. So let's hit enter and let's create one box, and then once that box gets created, similarly we can add that. It would be here locally, right? And we will be able to add like the same way. Okay, once that gets created. Okay, so let's just happen this, let it complete to create that box creation. Once this is done, I'll show you. And all this, wherever the time is taking, I'll just skip on those areas wherever that the time is taking, so that video will be shorter and it would be easy to understand, right? So let's just wait for this to complete. All right, so what we can see that box got created. If I do ls, we can see that box is present here. So similarly, if I want to add that box, now I can do that, but you have to be on the same directory, right? So just go back, box, add, and put this one. Okay, so provision box, and it would be added, right? And this should not take more time as that was taking time, right? And what he's saying, box file was not detected as metadata, adding that directly. Okay, so what we can do here, box add, I missed then which box we need to mention. Okay, or do I have to put the full path? Okay, let's try this. So it's adding, right? So we'll wait for this. Once this gets added, sweet, so this got added. So now if we just check Vagrant box list, we should have all those 4 boxes in that system, right? This is the manual one, this is the Linux 9, this is with the architecture, this is the Ubuntu. So I guess I have showed all that different types of boxes and different way we can add that boxes. Now it's time to write a small script, small Vagrant file, and to see that if we can create a machine out of it, right? So to do that, what we can do first, we need to initialize, right? And to initialize, what is the command that we need to run? A command like vagrant init, and then any name you can put, but I'll put by that by the box name, so that it would be easier for me to manage later. So I have added that one. What are you saying? File has been placed. So now if you just ls, then it's showing me that Vagrant file is there. Now it's time to go back here and take that one. So open folder, okay, and this is the Vagrant, select that one, and this is my Vagrant file. Here each and everything, every steps are mentioned already in this file are present there. So what it's saying, so it's showing that vagrant.configure means this is the main section. Inside this section we are going to write everything, and these 2 means the version. If we have noticed that currently that Vagrant version was 2, right? So this is the version. Now what we are doing, so Vagrant version we showed. Now if we just go back again, so what I would do, I'll just create the terminal here, so it would be easier for us. Perfect. So now, so next thing is we need to mention the box, which type of box or what box we want. So if we already have seen that box list, right? We can choose any of that box at this section, any of this box, okay? So that we can do. Next, that box, if it is not updated, you can mention here the next line that, okay, you just uncomment that, and what you will see that that box every time it would update, right? Like that we can control that ports, control that forward port, and control that IP address. We can set up static IP address for that. So what I do, I'll just create a small Vagrant file as we want it here. So okay, so well, I already have it, okay, and this is the Vagrant file, right? So what it's there, okay? So first I forwarded that 22 point, because I want to SSH that server from that outside, right? I can do Vagrant SSH command, but I'm not going to I'll do that as well, and I'll show you that what are the way we can do that. I did instead of, let's make it 20. So I want to set a static IP address which is 20 for this particular system. I have mentioned my provider as the virtual box. This is the default one, but in case if we have a different virtual box a manager, VM manager, then we can use those all as well, but I'm using virtual box in this case, so I mentioned that provider as a virtual box. I mentioned that memory how much you want, and the CPU as well. Okay, that's it. So now what we can do here, we can just come back and check that Vagrant status, okay, and what it's showing. Sorry, that status is wrong. So status. All right, so we'll see that in case if there is any any mistake or any error is there, it would be captured here. Okay, so I don't see any error there. So what I can do in this case, that I can run Vagrant up. Once I will run that Vagrant up, it would start building that server once, and step by step. In case if I want to mention that that some code, so those the next we'll see. So this is just, I want to see that a simple how we can create one. So just hit Vagrant up, and what we can see that here we will be able to see that the server gets created. Okay, so I'll just put it like that. So similarly we will be able to see here as well, right? So we can see that packer and those Vagrant default things came, right? Means we are able to do that. Packer is basically we use to make that package, right? What we have done on that means we can use packer to create our own own version of that images. So that what it showed. But here in this case, now this is the VM name. We can choose our VM name also. In the next video we'll see. This one I just wanted to show you that basic thing, okay, how we can create a small machine and how quickly we can do that. Means in case if we had to build this server here, okay, so we had to choose that image OS, then step by step choose configure IP address, all those stuff. But see, this got created without doing nothing. Now if I just if I just do Vagrant SSH, it would enter. See, I mean, so that much quick we can use, right? Means so see how cool it is. So now I'll just come out from that. I will exit out of it. And now what we can do here, that we can just how to shut down that server, right? If we want to restart, then Vagrant reload. Okay, if we want to shut down, Vagrant halt, which I'm just going to do. And after doing that halt, we can completely delete that server by running Vagrant destroy, right? So that also I'm just going to show you that how we can do that, right? So now if I just run Vagrant destroy, it's going to delete my system. Okay, so yes, I'm going to put Y and enter, and see, this is gone, right? So that much easy. And one more important thing, Vagrant is going to delete or create whatever I will mention it here. Okay, and means it's going to do whatever I mentioned here, means step by step. And it's going to create same, and it's going to delete also same. Means if I have created 5 servers by writing that Vagrantfile on this, it's going to delete all those 5. So be very careful on that. So that is the way we build the server. But there is one more concept which is called that Vagrant multi-machine. Okay, and multi-machine means on a same Vagrant file how we can create a multiple machine in a same file, right? So there is the way what we can do, we can just copy this and we can create, right? So there is one way I can show you, like, so I'll just okay, and see, if I want to use any manual server, then what we can do, we can just choose this one. Okay, and then we need to mention the provider, then we need to provide all those server details. Okay, and similarly, see, this is the server 1, then server 2, and all those stuff, right? Means I don't need this, but in case if I want, then I can put it here. But I don't need this. I just wanted to show you that how we can do that, because if I go and create all those, this is going to take a lot of time, right? So what I just wanted to show you that or what we can do, we can just create one. Let's go ahead and create. So I'll choose Alma Linux 9. All right, it's going to create server 1, server 2, server Okay, that's it. Let's create two, and this is not required as this is and here if you I am just putting that update and installing git. Okay, so that is under the shell portion. So let's just try to run. Let's see that Vagrant status first, what it is showing, it's going to create or not. So Vagrant status, and it's going to create two server, which is server 1 and server 2. So let's just create one. Okay, server Vagrant up and see that if creates two different server or not. Okay, so Vagrant up, we'll wait for this to be done, and if there is any error we'll see if we can fix that. Okay, alright, so what we can see that server 1 got created, now it's creating the server 2, which is fine. So we can see that both the server got created in one script, right? So that is cool, right? Means we don't had to do that, all those stuff, all those configuration, everything. But in my next stuff, means after this I'll show you that the whole provisioning things we can cover in this part. Okay, the whole shell we can mention if we want to install and configure Ansible or any other. I'll show you that how we can configure Ansible and just get that whole setup in one go, right? Or any other software we want to install or anything we want to do. Okay, so this whole thing we can mention in this one. Or what we can do, we can create a separate Python or any shell script, and we can just mention, we can run the script at its point, right? So this is one one Vagrant file. Okay, and here we can see that everything getting created based on whatever I have mentioned here, right? So let it finish. Once gets finished, we can see both my server are ready for use. So that is so cool, right? Means so cool. Next what we can do, we just halt this. Okay, and I'm going to destroy both the server. Perfect. So now if I'm just going to destroy, it's going to destroy both of my server. It would ask my permission, but yeah, means it's going to destroy both. So I'm going to hit Y and enter, hit Y and enter, and it destroys both the system. Perfect. Next what I'm going to do, so we must be thinking that, okay, so in case if there is 10 machine, if we want to create, are we going to put all of them? No. So what we can do, we can use the loop here. So how we can do that? So that is like, I'm going to come in this section as well. So what we can do here, we can use this one. Okay, and we can mention, right? So I'm just going to uncomment this section. Okay, right? So what I have done here, also I'm creating server 1, server 2. Okay, and it's going to create, right? So same thing, but what it's doing, it's taking that index. Okay, and if I want to have one more, we can put that server 3, and it's going to use the same resource. Okay, I'll show you next that if I want to have with one 3 machines with the same and one machine differently, then how I would do that also I will show. But in this one, let's see that how we can do that. Okay, by using the loop in a single. Okay, so I'll just save this, and we'll see that Vagrant status, all these Vagrant files, all these scripts are already mentioned there. So this is VM, this should be VirtualBox, sorry, virtual machine. Control Z, Control C. Okay, so this should be virtual machine. Now if I just see, this is the good part about it that it showed that why we use that Vagrant status, right? Means in case if there is any syntax error or any kind of error, it's going to show us that okay, at this point we have that error. So what I have done, I just mentioned a VM, right? Means which was wrong. So here I mentioned that I'm going to choose this whole section is that virtual machine section, and here I meant that different name, right? So that's why it throwed an error. So now if I just check that status, so it's I hope it's going to it's going to allow me to do that. So now if I just run Vagrant up, it should start building 2 server, right? Which I have mentioned here. So we'll wait for this. So Vagrant server 1 got already created, so now it's creating the server 2. So this is also going to a little bit of time, not so much time, because I didn't mention so many things, right? If I have mentioned so many steps on this shell, then it might take some time, but in this case I'm just creating 2 simple servers, so that's it. So both got created, right? And in that case, so if you have seen that okay, in that first case that I only used that Vagrant SSH, but in this case what we'll have to do, that we'll have to mention that server name, which one I want to SSH, right? So if you just server 1, then it enters to the server 1 only, right? And wait for this, and I'm inside the server 1, right? Perfect. So I'll exit from there. I don't think anything else we want to know. There is one more next thing what we want to know, that in case if there is same kind of server I want to have, right? So what we can do on that case. So let's take one a real life example, that on real life what we do. So what I can do here, so I'll just comment out that, and I have this. Perfect. So same thing in the top of this section. Next section, what I just mentioned, that I want to have another machine. Okay, so first one I want to have a dev machine, then a quality machine, and I want to have an infrastructure machine. Okay, so I want 3 computer. So in this first section it's going to create 2 machine, and this section it's going to create one more server, right? And we have mentioned this, right? So that whatever the server we are going to mention here, it's going to create the same. So what I will do, and here if you see that I choose the Talma again, and things are good. Here I chose that the memory little bit higher, but it's not required. 4.94096 is enough, so I'm going to choose the same for this one, and nothing as of now. Okay, we just want to see that how we can create 3 server in different sections. But in this case, in case if we want to have that Ubuntu in this case, why not to take that Ubuntu, right? Means we have that Vagrant box list, right? So what I would do, I will take that Ubuntu, this one, okay, and we'll try to build servers out of it, right? Perfect. So let's just check that Vagrant status, and it shows that it's going to create these 3 server, right? Perfect. So I didn't mention anything. Cool, things look good. So let's just do Vagrant up, and let's see that it creates or not. In case if there is any error, we'll do the troubleshoot, right? That's what we do. So let's just wait for this to be installed, and we will monitor if it creates. So already that the fast system started creating. So there is, so as it is already there, so it's nothing. So what we can do, we can just ignore this line, and we'll start creating that. So now if we just check Vagrant status, perfect. Now Vagrant as one server got created, right? So oh, okay, the last two server I didn't killed those two. Oh, okay, so that's why it's not taking. Okay, so what I can do here, just control Z. Okay, I will just Vagrant halt. I think it's going to halt only one machine, this one. Okay, and I'm going to run Vagrant destroy. Perfect. So this is a small troubleshooting also we are doing, which is nice. So as these two both are present there, right? So now what do I need to do? I need to comment out this section. Okay, and I'll take out these because that first two server which I created using this script, right? Now if I just Vagrant halt, it's going to shut down these two systems, right? Which is perfect. One is done. Second one is also done. Sweet. So now what we can do, I can just destroy both of them. Destroy, right? And it's going to ask my permission. Yes, please destroy those two, because those two are creating issue for me, right? Perfect. So just do the same thing again. So I'm just going to comment these things out. So comment, save, come out to here and remove, control S. Now if I just check that status, which looks good, and Vagrant up. Perfect. It's going to create a perfect, right? I hope there's no error this time. No, it's taken. Perfect. So worker dev already have started creating using these details and this VM box. And the second one, the second one also it's going to create. Once this dev create is done, then quality it would create. Once that to done, it would come here and it would create the infrastructure server, which I use the Ubuntu, right? So we'll wait for this one and we'll see. See, both the server got created. Now it's creating that infra server, right, by using Ubuntu. See how beautiful it is, right? So I think now you get that concept. Means if we want to have 10 server or 100 of server, okay, we can create it just in one file, right? Means just mention your things. Now next thing what we are just about to see, we are going to see that how we can we can deploy, right? And to do that, what I will do, I will create a few server and one section. In one section we will install that we'll install Ansible, right? All these things already are mentioned in there, okay, in my repository are there. You can go back and you can check. So I will do one thing, you go and you try to do that, create that cluster, okay? In case if you face any issue, you just come back and drop your comment on that comment box. I will try to help you. How about that? I think that would be a good idea, right? Means I already have showed you everything, so that from starting from that, how we can install, how we can add those boxes, how we can deploy machines, single machines, multiple machine using the loop, and all those details. I don't think there is anything we need to know to start using Vagrant, right? So we can start using this. And now what you need to do is you need to follow those steps, okay? Follow my documentation there, and now you can do that, right? So we already have seen how we can manage boxes, how we can manage servers, all these things, right? So throughout the process, we will share that we already have shared the tips and tricks, okay, which helps you to to not to go into that any problem or anything. I have showed you the troubleshoot way as well, right? So in real world also, means in my project, in my company, we are also using Vagrant in few areas, okay, and I think it's good to use, right? And so so that's it. That's the complete guide to Vagrant, from installation to deployment. But in case if there is anything I missed, just let me know on that comment section. I'll jump in, I'll try to answer all those, and I might create another video where I would show you that how we can do all those things, right? So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious. Thank you. Bye bye.